The Gulls Nest is on the air. It's time for a weekly dose of Seaside High School athletics with the Gulls Nest. If it happens on the field, in the pool, or on the court, you'll hear it here. The Gulls Nest is sponsored by Ocean Crest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac.
Good evening and welcome to the Gulls Nest. Athletic Director, Seaside High School, Jason Boyd here with our head football coach, Chad Smith. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
The Gulls Nest is brought to you by Ocean Crest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, home of the lifetime warranty.
We also want to thank our participating sponsors, Seaside Factory Outlet Center and Angelina's Pizzeria and Cafe.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you being here today. I know that you're a little under the weather. That daily grind and school, we're kind of in that mode where kids start getting sick, teachers start getting a little sick. Everybody's been around each other now for about 3-4 weeks, and we just keep sharing the same air. And so appreciate you being here and battling through all that stuff.
Thanks for having me here.
So, Coach, we had Scappoose at our place last week, and in terms of Scappoose mode or mentality, they're down this year because they only have 80 kids out instead of their normal, 95 to 100. And that, big school, just numbers wise, it makes it a little tough. It's kind of a tall order physically, just because we have so many kids going both ways, and that's just demanding to have a kid go both ways out there on the field for an entire game, and Scappoose is tough, and they played a good ball game, and we. Early exit of Braden Johnson didn't help our situation-wise offensively. So, we did have a score with Tubner. Tell us about that.
We had Garrett Kaiser come in and play quarterback for us. He was kind of our, last option at that position for some injuries that we have and things like that. So he came in and I thought he did a great job of kind of managing the offense and doing what we asked him to do. We drove the ball there in the second quarter. We just threw a kind of a quick slant to Alex Tubner, and had a great throw, great catch, and it was a touchdown.
So you talk about that first quarter. It might have been second series, I think. Scappoose, Braden goes in for a tackle. Kind of looks, from where I was standing, kind of looked like he hyperextended an arm, and so then he's out. And it took a couple series just to get kind of Garrett. It's like, hey, change your mindset, where you need to be quarterback now instead of your running back. And once you got through a couple of series, you could see him start to feel a little more comfortable in the pocket and delivering the ball. But, of course, Scappoose at the same time decides to, they ramped up their pressure on your guys. And then it was just a matter of time before, physically we were getting overmatched.
Right. Scappoose, like we talked about, they're a great program. They've been good for a long time. And, they get a lot of kids out and they have a lot of enthusiasm for their football program. And so it's a great challenge for us. And now as we move forward, and we talked about this with our kids at the beginning of the game, 4 of our next 5 games were against top 10 opponents, and now 3 of the next 4 games are against top 10 opponents. So every week is going to be a challenge for us, and we talked about, are we going to rise up to the challenge or are we going to back down? And so these next 4 weeks are going to be important for us, and it's something that we need to, rise up and kind of see where we are against some of these teams that are in the top 10 in our league, and see how we compete and see some things that we need to work on.
If it's not hard enough to play all those top 10 teams, you also only have one more home game. So you're playing 3 on the road, which having Valley, Astoria, and Banks on the road doesn't necessarily, throw any positives in your corner. So, looking at this, the situation, you're playing really good teams. You've got to beat one of these guys and then win your last home game to have a shot at the playoffs. You're traveling on the road. What are you doing as a coaching staff to really kind of build our kids up to get them mentally prepared? I think physically you guys have done a great job all year putting our kids in good situations to be successful. Mentally, what are you doing to take that next step to really get our kids to step on the field and believe that they can win, even when the numbers say that it's a long shot?
We kind of went back this week and we had kind of kids refocus and really talk about why they're playing football, why they're out here. We're trying to get back to what makes it fun for those guys, and so we had them write that down, and then we kind of talked about it as a group, and I could see kind of the attitude change a little bit this week in practice. Kids are having a little bit more fun. Mm-hmm. We're moving a little bit faster. We just need to learn that we need to practice, as hard as we want to play, and so sometimes when we don't practice very hard, it shows on a Friday night. So we're trying to get that consistency, especially with the young group that we have this year.
Great. So, Coach, let's look ahead to Astoria. That's this Friday night at Astoria at Columbia Memorial Field. I just want to remind all our listeners, get there early. Parking is very limited. It is their homecoming, so they're expecting a larger crowd than normal. Want to try to make sure we get all of our fans into that facility without having to walk a long ways to get to the contest. So, again, that game's at 7 o'clock at CMH. Coach, what do you see from Astoria? What do we need to do to stop their offense?
Astoria has some great skill kids. They have a great senior class. The quarterback's a good athlete, a couple of great receivers, and they're big up front as well. So it's going to be, a tough task, but I think our kids are up to the challenge, and kids are excited to play, and, we're going to play hard and kind of see, where the chips fall.
All right. Now, Coach, anything special you're putting in for this particular game?
We're always adding things. I don't know if it's really special, but, we want to try to give people different looks. A lot of our plays aren't different, but, some of the formations and things that we do will be different. So it'll be a interesting kind of a change for us, and we'll see kind of how our kids react and how Astoria adjusts to that.
Well, I know we have a few kids coming back, getting over some injuries. It's pretty exciting, and you'll be pretty close to full strength. Not sure what Otto's status is just yet, but it should be nice to get him back here soon as he heals up with that knee. Coach, good luck to you against the Fish this Friday.
All right, thanks.
When we return, we'll talk to our head cross-country coach, Neil Branson.
Stand by for more with Jason Boyd and the Gulls Nest next on 102.3 KCRX. Now, back to the Gulls Nest on 102.3 KCRX.
Welcome back to the Gulls Nest. Jason Boyd, Athletic Director, here with our head cross-country coach, Neil Branson. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Oceancrest's never-ending quest to provide a better customer service experience has raised the bar with their lifetime limited powertrain warranty on virtually every vehicle they sell, new or used. Oceancrest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac off Highway 101 in Warrenton, home of the lifetime warranty. So, Coach, exciting day at the Trojan Relays. I know that results aren't out yet, but it sounds like our kids did pretty well, and we can check those results out here probably within the next half hour, 45 minutes at www.athletic.net. Just go to Seaside High School.
Yeah, well, it's a little different in that this is a relay. Each athlete runs 2 miles, 5 people per team, and then we actually have to enter their splits, their times. Mm-hmm. So as soon as we get back from the meet, I'll be putting those in athletic.net, and they will be up
soon.
Soon, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll get back about 7:30. They'll be up there by 8:30.
So, hey, Coach, let's go back just a little bit and talk about the 3-course. And how our kids did. I kind of mentioned in last week's show just some quick placings, but just another fantastic event. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was the kind of the 40,000 milestone and what that means.
Oh yeah. So overall finishers in 11 races, we had 2,554 finishers this year, and this took us over 40,000 finishers over the 27 years. And that represents some 215 different high schools have been to this meet. So that's pretty amazing.
That is very amazing. From all over the western half of the United States and Canada, too, for those 200-some teams.
Yeah, yep.
Well, congratulations on another successful event. Are there any standout performances that you saw from our kids?
Well, the boys team won Division 4, and it's broken down by enrollment, and there are 5 divisions over the smaller divisions. And I haven't taken time, but we use 6 people on our team. And the larger divisions, 1, 2, and 3, have to use 7 people. But I suspect if I add in that 7th person, that we would be competitive with all the larger schools. Outstanding performances are 2 people off of the easy, moderate, and difficult course, all medaled, so they were all in the top 10 in their division. Bradley Resnicki was 2nd on the hard course overall.
That's a great performance.
Yeah, that's great, and that is a challenging course. But all the kids really ran well. It was amazing. Then for the girls, Katie Zagata was 9th in our division, Division 4. And then Josie Smith, who's had some injury problems, won the 3,000-meter race. So, yeah, our kids really stepped up, did well. There were kids who tackled a longer distance for the first time over challenging courses.
So then last Saturday, the boys went to Portland and had I don't want to say a little meet, but that was a pretty big event also.
Yeah, it is huge. He had over 4,000 finishers in that meet. And we last year we won Division 2, and this year we stepped it up to Division 1. Now there is a division more competitive. That's the Danner division. And we got 8th in our division, and with some really fine performances. Bradley, again, he ran very well. He was 11th, and with tremendous competition. So the guys really stepped it up, did well. They're hurting a bit. We have those dual sport athletes, and they play their soccer games and do their cross country practices, and so they come in a little banged up. And, but they're tough. They're so much fun to watch. They get after it.
Yeah, it's an exceptional group. I mean, the dual sport's not for every kid. I think lots of kids would like to be able to do that, but physically, I'm really starting to see, and we're almost halfway through we're about halfway through the season, and you're really starting to see just the daily wear and tear on those athletes right now.
Physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Because they're a competitive group, and they want to repeat as champions in cross country, and they want to repeat as champions in soccer. And there's no freebies, that's for sure.
Right.
But all the kids, and we have 3 young ladies that are doing the dual sport, and it's challenging for them. It's challenging for everybody. But all the kids, the single sport athletes, the dual sport athletes, are all working hard. They recognize what each other's doing, and they're appreciative of it.
So what's up next for the Seaside cross country team?
Well, so we have the Trojan relays, and then on the 8th of October, we take the girls to the Paul Merriman in Philomath, and that's a very competitive meet. And then both teams will go to the George Fox Invitational on October 15th, and that's where we get our last real test before the district meet, which is October 26th.
And that's out at Camp Riley at 2 o'clock if you're looking to set your calendar. So some pretty exciting opportunities for the cross-country team, both boys and girls here, coming up shortly. Your season seems like, I mean, the state meet's so far away, and it feels like the district meet's right on top of us all of a sudden. And it's just going to get, go faster and faster as we get there. I'm really excited to see where we go, and it sounds like training's going really well. For all our kids. So, Coach, it's another great year. Looking forward to talking to you in the future and finding out a little bit more about how our kids are doing. really appreciate you being here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
When we come back, we're going to talk to Seaside High School's newest head coach.
Stand by for more with Jason Boyd and the Gulls Nest next on 102.3 KCRX. Now, back to the Gulls Nest on 102.3 KCRX.
Welcome back to the Gulls Nest. Jason Boyd here. Now with me in studio, our newest head coach, the Seaside High School leader of our swim team, Mr. Shane Spell. Shane, welcome to the show.
How are we doing, Jason?
Oh, I'm fantastic. It's so excited to have you on board, not only here tonight to talk to our fan base, but also to have you on board as our head swim coach. Personally, I've seen you around the swim program for a lot of years, and it not only does it warm my heart, but it fires me up for the kids to see you taking the reins, because I know it's going to be a really exciting opportunity for kids to just have a great experience, compete well, learn what it means to be a swimmer, and walk away with some really good life lesson techniques to be successful. And so I'm really confident that you're going to be able to bring that to the Gulls and to our kids. Not to now put too much pressure on you.
Yeah, no pressure at all there.
So, Coach, give us a little background of swimming.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm definitely excited about this opportunity ahead with Seaside Swimming. I grew up in swimming in beautiful John Day, Oregon, Eastern Oregon. So it was summer league. There was no indoor pool where I grew up. So summer league season, and I swam from a little guy all the way through high school there in John Day. My swim career got off to a poor start. My parents tell me that I just sat on the side of the pool deck for the first 2 weeks of Red Cross swim lessons. So that means anybody can grow and improve. I went on to swim at Linfield College, and that was a big jump from a 2-month summer league season to basically a year-round program.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I got there on the ground up. The first year I was there, we didn't even have a home pool. We walked to the community center there in McMinnville, and then things escalated my sophomore year, and I met my wife there. So it was a great college experience. High school and college, I coached. I taught Red Cross swim lessons. Mm-hmm. I was assistant coach for a couple years, and then my final 3 years of my college years, I coached an age group team. Our last year, we probably had around 70 kids, and 30 of those were under the age of 8. So it was exciting. It was never dull. When you get to have A, B, C, D, and E relay team for 8 and unders, the meets are really exciting and fun to watch.
You got something going on every single race. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was a great experience, and it was. I learned a lot in swimming. I learned how to compete. I learned how to challenge myself. In college, I got to learn how to be a leader and speak up. So hopefully, we can carry some of those things to these high school student athletes, that they would know what it means to challenge themselves, to compete, to step up in leadership roles at the right time.
Right. So you have, there's quite a few kids returning from last year's team. Seaside, we've sent kids to the state swim meet every year that I've been athletic director. We do have a state championship under our belt. There's a swimming pedigree here, even though it seems like maybe over the last few years we call it the feeder program or the youth program has kind of been up and down a little bit. Mm-hmm. But we have a pool, so there's a love for swimming, and this community embraces swimming, and so that's something I think that that we can really feed on to build our program. Getting 40 kids out, like you said, having an A, B, C, and D, or even E relay teams at the high school level would be really exciting. When you walk into the pool and you see a big team, it really helps build that excitement. So, Coach, what if I'm a kid out there right now and I'm thinking, oh, new coach, I want to try swimming. What am I going to get out of swimming? What are you going to do to help me have a great experience?
Well, first thing, swimming is probably one of the only lifetime sports that you can do. It's truly lifetime, right? Yeah, you're not going to play football when you're 55, probably. Yeah. It's just a great way to stay in shape for a lifetime. There's some kids who don't have winter sports on their schedule right now, and it's a great opportunity. We will have fun. I guarantee that. There will be some laughter, there'll be some excitement, but you'll also be challenged. I want to help every student athlete set some personal goals and then challenge them to go for that. If it's your first year swimming, we're probably not going to try to beat Michael Phelps' times.
Okay.
We're going to just set some reasonable goals for you and go for it. But if you've been in the team for a few years and scored some points at districts, then we need to set eye on something bigger.
Right. So, I mean, looking at no matter what level you're at, you're going to come in, and one of the real positive things that kids are going to get out of this is learn how to set achievable goals and reach those. And that is a huge life skill to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm trying to get a few people to help out so that we can get more attention to individual swimmers, just to let everybody rise as far as they can as a Seagull student athlete.
Well, Coach, I'm really excited about the swim season coming up here. November 14th is when we officially hit the pool.
It's coming fast.
Yeah, it feels like it's just right around the corner. And I know that kids can contact you here. Just call Seaside High School 503-738-5586, and you can leave a message here with Coach Spell if he's not in the building. Because I'm sure that there's going to be some, lots of people having questions, saying, "Hey, what are we going to do? I'm really interested. This sounds like a great opportunity." Coach, thanks a lot for being on the show today. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Again, really excited for that opportunity. Want to remind everybody that you can check out the schedules for all of our sports at www.coapaleague.org. Go Gulls!
Thank you for tuning in to the Gulls Nest, a weekly look at Seaside High School athletics. Join us Thursdays at 6 p.m. The Gulls Nest on 102.3 KCRX, sponsored by Ocean Crest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac.